I know this might sound a little silly, but I feel like it's important to clarify that there's a very big difference between asking your wife, "What's for dinner?" or "What should I make for dinner?" and asking your wife, "What would you like for dinner?" Because those are two very different scenarios. In the first scenario, when you're coming to your partner asking them, "What's for dinner?" or "What should you make for dinner?" if you're cooking it, you're essentially expecting them to carry the mental load, right? You're assuming that they've been thinking about dinner, planning for dinner, probably grocery shopped with dinner in mind, that they have a running inventory in their brain of what's in the fridge and the pantry, and that they've been thinking about dinner. So when you come to them and you say, "What's for dinner?" or "What should I make for dinner?" you're not only expecting them to make the decision, but you're expecting that they put in the work and the mental load to know what's going on for dinner. In the second scenario, which is very different, when you're coming to your partner and you're saying, "What would you like for dinner?" chances are you've been doing that planning. You've been thinking about dinner, and you're coming to your partner and saying, "Would you like chicken with this side or salmon with this side?" That is very, very different. In that scenario, you've done the work. You've carried the mental load of dinner. You're just asking for input, and that's very, very normal. But in a relationship, especially one where there's a disproportionate amount of mental load on the woman, when somebody comes to them and asks them, "What's for dinner?" or "What should I make?" that is really frustrating because it's putting work on them, putting on work for them to think about, plan, and coordinate and know what is for dinner at all times. Coming to your partner and asking them what they would like is just courteous, right? And those are two separate things. And it sounds silly to have to kind of clarify that. But a lot of times when I talk about the mental load, men will say, "Okay, so it's not okay for us to ask you what's for dinner or what should I make, but it's okay for us to ask you what you would like." That doesn't make any sense. But it does, because in one instance, the person has the responsibility on them, right? Asking, "What should I make?" or "What are you making for dinner?" puts the responsibility on your partner. In the scenario where you're asking, "What would you like?" the responsibility is on you. You're just asking them to weigh in, to participate, and then you ultimately are the one making the decision. And that is the big difference. Who's making the decision? Who carries the responsibility? At the end of the day, that is the biggest difference between "What should I make?" or "What's for dinner?" and asking, "What would you like for dinner?"